Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we begin Unit 2 of our Math 7 course. Today's topic is algebraic expressions. So we're going to start off with some vocabulary. We have here our first term, which is a variable. All a variable is a letter or a symbol that replaces a number. So most common variable is x, but you can use y, z, a, b, whatever. And later we're going to talk about why you would choose certain letters over others. All an algebraic expression is an expression that has a variable in it. We've been doing numerical expressions that are number expressions, so they have numbers and operations. So now we're going to do numbers, operations, and variables. So here are what some of the algebraic expressions look like. When you have multiplication, the easiest way to show multiplication is you take a number and a variable and just attach them. This says 6 times d. You can have multiple letters and numbers attached. You can have just letters attached showing multiplication. And then, of course, you can use an exponent to show multiplication. This says a to the third power, which means a times a times a. Now, in these expressions here with numbers and letters, the number itself is called a coefficient. It tells you how many d's there are. This is 6 times d. Okay, 6 groups of d. Now we're going to take these expressions down here. We're going to evaluate them. Evaluate means to judge. We're going to judge how much these expressions are worth based on these values. So we're going to plug in what c is worth. C is 8. So we're going to go 8 minus 3 is 5. Over here is 15 minus c. What's c worth again? C is 8. 15 minus 8 is 7. Now over here we have parentheses. So order of operations says I have to do my parentheses before my multiplication. If we have a number touching a parentheses, that means multiplication. So we're going to go 3 times c plus negative 5. Now remember, our integer rules, if you add a positive and a negative, it's really subtraction. 8 minus 5 is 3. The positive is more powerful because there's more of it in this case. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, over here we have 2c, so it's 2 times 8 plus, minus 4 times d. My camera's in the way here. Move it up there. Okay, order operation says I have to multiply before I subtract. So 2 times 8 is 16. Minus 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Remember your rules. When you take away a negative, you're really adding. This says 16 plus 20, which is 36. All right. For time's sake, we're just going to do one of these. We'll do E here, and we're going to write it up here for space. Okay, so D, negative 5, minus C squared. Exponents have to come first. 8 squared is 64. Can't subtract. Do not subtract before you square. You have to do the exponent first because order operation says to do so. Negative 5 minus 64 is negative 69. Remember, when you take it away from a negative, it gets more negative. All right. Word problem. We have this expression, BH, the area of a triangle. Use the formula BH divided by 2, or it's 1/2 base times height, where B is the base and H is the height. What is the area in square inches of a triangle with a height of 6 inches and a base of 8 inches? So base is 8, height is 6. Divide the whole thing by 2. 8 times 6 is 48. Divided by 2. 24 inches squared. Boom. Now, when we go to write the expressions, we got to take a word problem and we define a variable. You usually write a variable that goes with what the expression is talking about. Here we use the variable W for weeks. $25 plus $10 each week. Each means multiply per week.